Hey guys, welcome back to Wi-Fi Money. This is day 5 of trading my funded MFFU account. And it was a very interesting day, to say the least. But we will break it down here. And it ultimately ended out really good, but it was interesting. So looking at the daily chart, the Dow has still been attempting to push for all-time highs, while S&P and NASDAQ are just doing its own little thing, making all-time highs. And as you look at the daily chart, I zoom in here, you can see there's been somewhat of a consistent downtrend. It's clear on the 4-hour. This is our 61% return for the push up from this order block, was our 61%. But previously, earlier this week, and last week I was bearish because if we look at the 4-hour, we had a retest here that failed, and then we created our low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. And then here, this lower high was violated, and with this, and then I turned bullish off the bounce off of this order block, in which I won my long yesterday. And coming into today, I was once again bullish because as we see here, this was our one-day fair value gap that started here, even though it was traded through. As we see off this, our yesterday's bullish trade, we had a bounce off the order block and it respected this fair value gap once again. And then overnight, we had a push down on the 4-hour and it wicked away off this fair value gap. Some more support there. So I was in bullish, but I was looking for an entry, and I really make my decisions based off the weekly, daily, and the 4-hour, but breaking it down to the 15-minute, that's where I really look for my entries. I do look at the 1-hour, but I believe the 4-hour truly does tell a better picture than the 4-hour. But going straight to the 15-minute here, I do apologize, this video is coming after market close, so my executions aren't there. It was a pretty busy day. I still do. I work from home, but I still have a 9 to 5. Things got busy with that in my personal life, but I was still able to trade, just not do the video because that does take time with the uploading and editing. But I screenshot my entries that I'll show you guys here after the explanation. So back to the 4-hour, since I lost where I was with all that talking. We had our bounce off of the one-day fair value gap, and this was our opening candle here, and a strong push up. I was waiting for a return, and I waited more than 30 minutes because if you look at the NASDAQ and the S&P, man, they did the opposite. And I don't like to trade when the indices aren't in line. I'll wait later in the day for when they're more in line. As you see, S&P started to push up. The NASDAQ pushed up a little bit, which failed after close. But looking back at the Dow, during this push up, I didn't want to trade because the indices weren't in line. But then there was some retracement, and then the S&P and NASDAQ, as I just showed you, they then started to push up, and that's when I really start looking for my entries. And now I'm going to bring in the screenshot of my entry within the 15-minute. Bear with me here, guys. So here's a screenshot of the 15-minute. This was around, let's call it 11 Eastern. So I did wait just about 30 minutes. As you see there, what I really liked here was obviously we had a return to our order block that you see here. Then it wicked away, then I finally entered. So that's what I was ideally looking for. And I had my take profit at the top of this fair value gap. But ultimately, that didn't work out. But obviously it didn't work out. But why I exited the trade is due to the 1 minute here. Let's make this a little bigger. The 1 minute also screenshotted my entry, as you guys can see here. We took on some heat, more heat than we had the previous 4 days. We got about 75% to our stop loss, but I was confident with all these wicks out. It was showing some obvious support there. Then the trade finally went in our favor. We got about to plus 500 in profit. Then we had a push down that broke this 1 minute order block, and I did start paying attention too much to the 1 minute. And also, I was 1 day away from making a payout. I just need $100 in profit, and I did not want to lose that. And I put my stop below this small order block on the 1 minute here. It almost got me here, and it pushed back up. I thought we were going to be good to TP, but it came back down, and it took me out. And it eventually bounced off the 12 a.m. open. That's where I would ideally have liked to place my trailing stop below the 12 a.m. open, maybe this order block. But I was unfortunately not good. I was P&L focused. I wanted to get paid today. I always pay the trader, in which it did work out. I got paid. I'll show you the screenshots here later on. But ultimately, this trade, if I would have held on, it closed at 4 p.m. close. It was about plus $800. But I mean, we got paid today. Not a bad deal. We profited, and it's a lesson learned there. The past 2 days, we didn't make it to our profit target, so there's a lot of lessons to be learned there. Maybe better entries, maybe closer to the order block down here, which would have gotten filled once and twice. So there is a bit to learn, but now I want to show you guys the fun part of trading, which is getting paid. We all love to get paid. So let's see here. We're back on our trading view screen. I'm going to take you over to my funded futures account. This was our previous 4 trades that got us plus 3,400. The trade today plus 230 just hasn't loaded into the system. But I'll show you guys. Ooh, that was bright for my eyes. I'll show you guys my TradeZella account. I started this funded account last Wednesday. Those are the trades that I just showed you on my other screen. Those are our wins, and that was our trade today that got us at plus 223. And my funded futures is fucking awesome, man. So let's see. This one I submitted to get fucking paid. We all want to get paid. I submitted for $1,200 with a $50K starter account. That's all I had. The cheapest one, $92 fucking dollars, and I got paid $1,200 after 5 days of trading. So that's a good ROI if there ever is one. And you can see how fast they are. Submitted at 4:52 in 15 seconds PM. Got approved. Funds removed right away. Compliance review 1 second later. Risk reviewed 1 second later. And it was approved. I use the ACH, so the payment hasn't sent yet. Here, if you use the other service, I can't quite remember the name of it. It's like one of those apps that you can get paid on. They send it immediately, but I'd rather just send that shit to my bank account. I'll wait a couple days for that. Then just more proof here. A lot of people lie in this world. My email, payout approved, requested, approved, pay the trader. And that's my only funded account with my funded futures. I do have 2 other funded accounts that I started this week on Monday. And then I just added 2 more evals since my funded futures, they now allow for 5 sim funded accounts. So tomorrow I'll be trading 5 accounts total. 3 will be funded, 2 will be evals. And of course, I'll always show you my trades when they present themselves. Thank you for tuning into Wi-Fi Money. See you next time.